Peace. Well, I'm back with another final say. So today I want to get into animals. So what I want to talk about with animals is I know there's millions of people on the planet that love animals. There's nothing wrong with loving animals. However, it's a way that you love animals, you respect them, and you protect them. The first thing is that when you love animals, you stay out of their habitat and you let them roam in their environment, in their habitat. So people are like, well, what you mean when you say that? I mean, like, honestly, when we go to beaches, we invade in their habitat. We invade in their environment. So if someone gets attacked by a shark, crocodile, so on and so forth, we are invading their habitat and their environment. I'm not saying that that's not unfortunate if that happens to someone, but let's be honest. We're invading their environment and their habitat. So the only thing they know is how to protect what? Their environment and their habitat. It's not they're attacking someone because that's what they're gonna do. No, you're invading their habitat and their environment. It's like we see a bear just roaming the streets or a lion or a tiger. What they're gonna do, they're gonna put it to sleep more than likely because that's not their environment. That's not their habitat. That's our habitat. That's our environment. So when we go to their environment now, we have to understand we're in their environment. So by nature, they're gonna what? Protect their environment. They're gonna protect their habitat. And again, this video may trigger some people. This video may get some people upset. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it so people can literally and logically understand. When you're in an animal's habitat or environment, their natural instinct is to defend it or to defend that. It is the environment or the habitat. That's their natural instinct to do that. So if you're in the water and a shark attacks you, it's not that that shark attacked you because sharks attack people or humans. Is that you're in their environment. You're in their habitat. So if I go to safari and I get attacked by an animal, I'm in their environment. Another thing I want to get into about animals, from my perspective, my understanding, animals shouldn't be held against their will. They shouldn't be held captive against their will. So I don't go to zoos. I don't go to like SeaWorld and things like that because from my understanding, animals are being held against their will to perform for people that want to see them perform whatever they're doing, tricks or whatever it is. I notice I'm not saying for us, I'm saying for people who want to see that because it is some people that want to see that and they might not look at the logic of their being held against their own free will. It's like me going to see somebody incarcerated. I look at it along the same lines at the end of the day. So people may say, well, they got incarcerated because they broke the law, they did something wrong. I'm not arguing that. I'm not debating that at all. But what I'm saying is animals are being held against their will. So what are the dolphins or the whales doing wrong that they using them in SeaWorld or they using or they having animals in zoos and such and so on and so forth. It's like we got to think about that. Like they're being held. That lion or that tiger or that monkey or that orangutan, that could be somebody's mom, that could be somebody's dad that we're going to see. That's behind the glass or that's behind the cage or that's behind wherever they got them. Wherever they got them held captive at, we have to think about that. And I understand we want to do things for our own entertainment and our own amusement. I get that. I'm not running from that. But it's coming at the expense of those animals now. And if we really saying we love animals and we can get arrested or we have to pay penalties for abusing animals or hurting animals or harming animals, I mean, we need to go full scale with it. Because like I said before, we have this rebellious state that we're in. We can do what we want. We can do what we want. Nobody can tell me what to do. So at the end of the day, why are animals being held captive against their will to be placed in zoos? And then outside of being held in a zoo, they actually, now somebody's making a profit off of that animal, said lion, said tiger, said bear, said, a seal or dolphin or whatever other animals, deers or whatever animals, cheetahs, whatever animals are in zoos or are in aquariums and so on and so forth. And again, I'm not mad at it. I'm just pointing it out So again, as I tell everybody, if my platform is not for you, you can unsubscribe, you can hit don't recommend, and not interested. However, if you do like what I do, or you do understand what I'm doing, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. I would appreciate it if you drop a comment. I would appreciate it if you share, or even if you subscribe. But at the end of the day, we need to think about that. How animals are being held against their will in zoos, aquariums, so on and so forth. And they are able to have a family and reproduce. That is very, very strategic, and that is very important. And again, I'm not mad at the people who are doing it, because I'm not talking about the people who are doing it. I'm talking about how the animals are getting done. They're being held against their own free will. So at the end of the day, that's something we need to think about. So that's why for me, the more I do homework and the more I do research, I'm just starting to understand things at the end of the day. And no, I'm not comparing animals to people that's actually being locked up or being incarcerated for crimes that they do. What I'm saying is they're still being held against their free will when we go see them in zoos, or when we go see them in aquariums, or wherever we go on to see them or view them at. That's something that need to be thought about. And again, I understand this video may be insensitive to people, and I'm not trying to do this to rub anybody's shoulders wrong, or to get anybody upset, or to trigger anybody. I'm just saying I'm paying attention, and by doing homework and research, I've seen that animals, for as long as I can remember, are in zoos or in aquariums and other places, and we can't certify 100% that they're not being held against their free will. And if we can, we can't say for sure that they're being treated the same way they would as if they're living on their own, in their own environment and in their own habitat. We can't say their diets are right, because if it's a shark, or if it's a whale, or if it's whatever's in the aquarium, we can't say that they're feeding those mammals the correct way, or they have the correct diets. We can't say that for 100%. Same thing with the animals that's in the zoos. We can't say they're feeding those monkeys, those orangutans, those deers, those cheetahs. We can't say that. We're assuming that because we don't know, because we don't know what it's like when they're living in their environment and living in their habitat. And I'm understanding that by studying animals a lot more, by studying their environment, by studying their habitat. That's the only way you know. And just because those people are telling us one thing, we don't know definitely if they're doing all the homework and the research. And if they are doing all the homework and research, let them live in their environment and let them live in their habitats, because that's what they're accustomed to doing, and that's how they're accustomed to living and breeding whatever it is that they're breeding, other their cubs, or however they're raising their families. It's in their environment, it's in their habitat. Peace, world.